Yes guys, it's Niddy Last and welcome. In this video, what we're going to be doing is a follow-up video to the one that I done previously yesterday. If you haven't seen that, we'll leave a link down in the description for you guys to go and check that one out. But this one, what we're going to be doing is focusing on the actual pre-order sales so far for Infinity Warfare, you know, and looking back on some of the previous titles, how they actually sold, the pre-order sales, and whether or not Activision can keep getting away with working the way that they are, and whether they made a massive mistake with E3 in regards to actually not showing the multiplayer if you're taking a look at these kind of statistics. So first of all, let's have a look straight away at Call of Duty Ghosts. There you see him coming up on your screen now. It says, despite shipping $1 billion worth of units to retail channels within 24 hours of launch, basically the overall sales were down compared to 2012's Call of Duty Black Ops 2. But they're again saying that they would blame it on the transition for the next generation consoles. But it did actually sell, as it says there, by February 2014, 19 million copies. So even though it didn't do too bad at the start, it wasn't, you know, there wasn't too many pre-orders. It did struggle to sell. In the end, it sold 19 million copies. So that wasn't that bad. Now moving on to Advanced Warfare. Now as you're seeing coming up on your screen now, it was reported in November 2014 that retail sales for Advanced Warfare were down 27% compared to Call of Duty Ghosts on the one before. And also in regards to that, there were 50% fewer pre-orders for that particular title than what there was for Call of Duty Ghosts as well. So that is a big number. But there again, despite the decline, it says that Advanced Warfare was still the top selling game of US retail for 2014. So once again, it didn't start off too well. There wasn't a lot of love. The pre-orders weren't there or anything else like that. But Advanced Warfare still sold, and it made a hell of a lot of money. Now, a lot of that was down to the supply drops that were actually implemented into that particular game. I mean, the supply drops in that earn Activision an absolute crazy ton of money. So that helped them get out of that kind of situation. But then moving on to the next title, which is obviously Black Ops 3. Now, as you're seeing coming up on your screen now, it says Black Ops 3 sold significantly better than Advanced Warfare and Call of Duty Ghosts, the previous two Call of Duty titles. And it says that Black Ops 3 was making more than $550 million in sales in its first 3 days of release. Now that is huge. It really is. It was absolutely massive. It did take over, as it's saying on the screen at the moment, that was the top selling game. Now I think roughly with the Black Ops 3 sales, I think they sold roughly about 22 million copies so far. So if you look back to Call of Duty Ghosts, that sold 19 million. This one, the one that we're playing at the moment, is sold 22. So it's only 3 million more than what some people regard as one of the worst Call of Duty titles going. So it is quite interesting the way that it actually works out, because I mean, the end of the day, even though these games haven't started off very well with pre-orders and things like that, people are still coming along and buying these titles and helping Activision out in the long run. It might not start off well, but it does look quite well. So this is going to bring us up to Infinity Warfare. Now, as you're seeing coming up on your screen now, this is the pre-order numbers for Infinite Warfare as of May the 14th, 2016. Now, these are not 100% accurate. They're really not. I mean, Activision have already jumped on the bandwagon, which we'll get into in a minute. But if you look at this, I mean, at the end of the day, straight away there, Xbox One, PS4 for Infinity Warfare, 30,000, 33,000. Now, in regards to that right there, I mean, even if they're not quite right, there might be a few thousand out here. If you look at the pre-orders for May the 16th for Call of Duty Black Ops 3, they are not going to be that far out. There is no way they're going to be as far out as that. So it is a very alarming rate of what pre-orders are being done for Activision at the moment. I mean, they know, and they're registering these numbers. They might not want to admit to anything else, but at the end of the day, this is very alarming for Activision, especially the way that the trailer's gone down with the 2 million dislikes and stuff like that. So once again, we've got this pattern arising that, you know, the pre-orders are really poor, but they're even worse than what they have been all the way back to Call of Duty Ghosts straight away. But Activision did respond to this, and they did say these estimates are highly inaccurate and not at all representative of actual retail data. We've announced that pre-orders started strong and continue to be very positive, and we look forward to sharing new gameplay next week at the E3. Are you fuck? Seriously, I mean, right there in that little statement, it says there, we look forward to sharing new gameplay next week at E3. And they've just announced that basically, we're not going to see any multiplayer gameplay till September the 2nd. I mean, yes, they might be talking about campaign, but we want to see the multiplayer. 90% of people want to see the multiplayer side of it. And now they've delayed it to September the 2nd. These pre-orders, they ain't going to go nowhere. They're not going to help this game whatsoever. People want to see what they're actually buying. And just looking at a bit of campaign at E3 is not going to sell it for people. People want to see the people, obviously the movement system. They want to see what the new maps are like, some of the score streaks, anything, just some little teasers and tasters, weapons, something like that. So with these alarming statistics that we're actually seeing at the moment for the pre-order sales, I mean, at the end of the day, Activision have still gone on the bandwagon and decided to delay the actual the viewing of the multiplayer and set it back all the way to September the 2nd. Doesn't look like we're going to get a beta either. This isn't really helping us out whatsoever. I mean, it doesn't help us out because we want to see what the game's like before we want to pre-order it. Personally, I'm going to be getting it anyway. This is a Call of Duty channel. I do enjoy my Call of Duty anyway. But a lot of people are not pre-ordering this game for the sole fact of they're worried that it's going to be an absolute load of toss. Everyone's sick and tired of jumping around, but this is not helping any way whatsoever. But in regards to that, it has actually said the Call of Duty franchise has topped 250 million in sales following the worldwide success of Black Ops 3. So to this date, we've sold 250 million, and they reckon that in the past 10 years, they've made 15 billion. So they made 15 billion, and I personally think that Activision probably getting a little bit greedy, and they're not putting as much care into the games. They're not thinking, they're not listening, but I bet they are listening now. I bet they're looking at that, and the only reason that I can think that they've taken the multiplayer out of E3 is that they must be coming up with some sort of surprise to try and help these kind of figures out straight away. But I just wanted to give you a little rundown of how this is actually looking for Activision at the moment, and the alarming pre-order sales rate for this particular title, and how Activision really are not helping themselves whatsoever. But anyway, guys, leave it all in the comment section below exactly what you are thinking about this. It'll be very, very interesting to see. But coming up on my screen now is my subscribe button. If you haven't already done so, make sure you're hitting that, and guys, if you could drop a like, that'd be absolutely amazing. This is Nearly Last, and I'll catch you later.